Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dusty Futon Concert Report. I'm your host, Big Jon, and for these episodes, what we're going to be doing is outlining the concerts and shows that are upcoming from the Dusty Futon artists. If you've been following the show, you've heard a lot of new music, of different variety of styles from local artists or artists that have been traveling through the San Diego, Southern California area. One of the things we want to do in this episode is make sure you have every opportunity to go see these artists live and feel the energy they bring to the stage. Because some of these guys, man, they can tear that stage up, and you want to make sure and not miss a lot of these shows. Before I get into that, I want to let you know who's coming up on the podcast over the next few weeks. Now, these are artists who've already had a recording session, and we're just waiting to edit and upload these podcasts. This list is definitely not complete, but we want to give you a head start and prepare you for what's coming up over the next few weeks. The very next episode we're going to release is a band called Avenue Army. Now, these guys are kind of a power pop, rock, alternative, punk, all sorts of different amalgamation of genres into one heavy-hitting, powerful band. The planned release date for their episode is actually this Friday, so make sure you subscribe, and you can actually subscribe very easily to us. The first thing you got to do is go to dustyfuton.com and click on the futon right when it pops up. That'll take you to the podcast feed page, and at the very top of that, you'll see icons for some of your favorite audio listening devices, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, whether it's Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, any of those places. Click that button, and it'll take you right to us, and then click that subscribe button. And that way you will never miss an episode like Avenue Army coming out in just a couple of days. On Monday, we're going to have a hip-hop artist / producer named Raul iRok Rios on the podcast. And then in no particular order, we're going to feature the Ellis Band, a blues rock fusion rock band that backs up singer-songwriter Brett Ellis. Calour Creative, a unique, independent, multi-talented production company from San Diego. The Rock, a 4-piece rock and roll band based out of San Diego that was formed in 1986. And the TAS Taylor Ban, a blues rock band backing up singer-songwriter TAS Taylor. Now, that's only 7 of the upcoming bands we have, and trust me, we have plenty of more artists and musicians lining up, ready to record their episode on the Dusty Futon. If you are a musician or artist who wants to be on the podcast, it's really simple. Just email us, admin@dustyfuton.com, and let us know all about you. Okay, maybe not all about you. We don't want to know about your personal life. We just want to know about you musically, what you do, what you bring to the table, so we can put you on an episode to be heard by all of our followers. Alrighty, now that we got all that on the table, let's go ahead and break down some of the concerts and shows from our previous artists that are coming up in the next few weeks. First up, we got Black Market III. Now, if you didn't hear these guys before, take a listen to a sample of their tunes. When the sun goes down. Dead bird lying in your bed. You count the cars in a funeral procession. Bad luck, won't you just pay? You can find them on the 8th of June at Hooley's in La Mesa, on the 10th of June at Wilson Creek Winery in Temecula, at Proud Mary's on the 23rd of June, Nicky Rotten's on the 29th, and at Crush on the 30th. And I'll catch them before they head out in August on their European tour. One of our artists from Season 5, Anthony Cullins, a.k.a. the Faubourg Kid, will be performing at Hacienca de Vega on June 9th.
white girl with long black hair. She walked as if she just didn't care. I asked her what she...
Heavy metal rock artist Nightshadow can be heard at Brick by Brick on June 13th. Actually, you're going to want to watch them on June 13th, not just hear them. Unique alternative band Chugboat from Season 5 will be debuting a new single at their single release party on June 16th at the 710 Beach Club. And you can also find them on June 23rd at Park and Rec.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Well, I mean the bare necessities of Mother Nature's recipes. Bring the bare necessities of life. I don't ask, it's gotta last so much. A little bit of time, a little bit of luck. I don't have the most, I'm not the best there ever was. I'm not great, but I'm definitely good enough.
Producer and artist King Shem will be performing on the 21st of June at Brick by Brick, and this is an interesting show that's also going to have the Midget Championship Wrestling happening right there.
Snakes in the grass said eat the apple, but once you did, all your demons grabbed you by the throat. Now they have you. Your heart turned to stone just like a statue. And every night I wake up screaming, my heart stops beating, the room is freezing, trying to figure out life and its meaning, but all I can think about is you leaving. Life's full of pain, sometimes it gets tragic, but it all goes away the beautiful black
Damn, look at how they doubt me. Knock me down and tell me that they can't live without me. If love is all we need, why bite the hand that feeds? Until I start to bleed and kill these flowers like weeds.
Upcoming artist Brett Ellis Band. You can hear them on June 8th at Brick by Brick.
Pleasure and blindness, sensual inamorata, oblivious to the damn prison your senses have built around you.
The Rock, future artists on the Dusty Futon. You can find them June 9th at Nicky Rotten's playing with Jack Russell's Great White.
That's right. Check it out. Faith is gold that can make us rich. When we believe there can be no hitch.
TAS Taylor Ban you can find on June 22nd at the Coach House. He's going to be playing as a special guest of Gary Hoey. And then the following night, June 23rd, you can find him at Navajo Live for the Rocks Fest. Finally, we have League of Liars on June 23rd at the Ocean Beach Street Fair.
Be happy, it sounds a lot more fun than you waving around that pistol and me holding up my bum. And I would like you to believe me, it is likely that you don't. You know, I'd like for you to stay a while, but it's likely that you won't. If I had a nickel for every dime I lost, I could not count all the ways that you calculate the price instead of cost.
First of all, I want to thank every single artist who we mentioned on this episode for coming down and sitting on the futon with us. It's always a pleasure to sit here and chat with new artists who we've never heard of before, or some that we have, and make sure that they get their message heard and their music played for you. The local music scene is very important. It's something that keeps our community together and keeps it growing. So it's always important to head out there, see these shows, and support these bands. Buy their merch, buy their CDs, buy them drinks, whatever it takes, whatever you want to do. Support all these local musicians like we do here on the Dusty Futon. I also want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has a hand in making sure this podcast happens. Spicy Kim of Wicked Tone Entertainment, Dirty Disciple of Noise Cartel Records, Tyler, and anybody else who has a hand in this podcast. Speaking of that, if you want to be mentioned on an episode of the podcast and are not a musician, it's really easy. You can go to our Patreon page and support us, and certain levels of the Patreon support will get mentions on every episode that they help to support that month. Go to patreon.com/thedustyfuton to find out more. This has been another production of the Dusty Futon LLC, and this Dusty Futon podcast, the Dusty Futon Concert Report, will be back next week for an update on new upcoming shows as well as future episodes. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Dusty Futon. Don't forget to follow us on dustyfuton.com or any of your social media outlets, Facebook at the Dusty Futon, Instagram and Twitter at Dusty Futon.